Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to season number 2 of the Spaghetti and Meatball Show.
Season number 2, guys. And season number 2 to
welcome.
Welcome to...
Oh, welcome to you, Daniel. welcome to you, viewers.
That's 4.
Season number 2.
No, 2.
True, sorry.
Yeah, so welcome to season number 2. That's you can go up to all your friends and family and just tell them it's season number 2 now. So
yeah, season number 2. So and big things, Daniel, this episode. So originally we had our producers in the front room of my house. That was our studio, but big thanks because we've had so many views. We've actually now moved into my garage. So,
and the car's in the front room.
Things. So. Yes. Yeah. So good things. Yeah, good things.
Big things are happening here at...
And if you're wondering why, it's so lit up, it's because my car lights are on facing us.
The spotties.
Yeah, the
so we're actually going to be blind at the end of this episode. So this is the end of the road.
Yeah. It's the start of season 2 and it's the end of season 2.
I just saw it on the spot. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah,
well done. Yeah. As you can see, we've got a new addition to the set as well, is the iPad and the red curtain in the background as well.
Yes.
So, welcome.
Welcome, season 2 to you.
Season 2 to you. Yeah.
So we've had a bit of a break, and now we are back on the grind with the podcast.
We're back on the grind.
I was actually recently at work the other day. I work at a supermarket. I don't know if you guys have heard that. I've mentioned it a few times on the show. And I was stocking the shelf, and I saw that there is now Heinz Spaghetti and Meatball.
You're joking.
I'm not even taking it. I reckon we need to give them a cease and desist.
Oh, I agree.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Heinz, if you're listening, sponsor us, first of all.
Sponsor us, and then we'll allow you to sell. I'm so not used to this being here.
I know. I can tell you did it 4 times.
Yeah, it's effed up all the audio too.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sponsors, we are glad to announce that we have High Street Cafe back on.
High Street Cafe. So thank you.
Woo!
Back on for season number 2.
Yeah, season number 2. So
the
to High
Spaghetti
Street
and Meatball
Cafe.
Show.
To them.
So for those who are tuning in for the first time, this is the Spaghetti and Meatball Show.
Yes. It formerly was known as 2.5 Men.
It was.
Aren't you?
Formerly.
For the first episode.
For the first ever episode.
Yeah, now we're 13 episodes into season 2. You know, it makes it sound like we've done a lot more episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. You know?
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
How many episodes have you had? Oh, we've got 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, how
and
many
people are like,
season?
oh my God, they've got like 40. And we're like, no, just the 13.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
so I actually did hear that when you start getting into seasons, that's when Nova start contacting you.
Well, you said Life FM would start contacting us after the 4th or 5th.
Any radios. I'm taking like Coast FM if they flick me in.
I'm actually pretty disappointed. One of our producers here, Emily Leblonsky,
I don't know if you guys
which
know
will also
her,
be appearing later on. She has her own segment, a part of this podcast called Mily's Mini Meals, which is also a part of SM Entertainment. But she had offered a job from Life FM, and I'm surprised that she didn't, put them onto us. But
yeah,
that's fine. She declined it. It's a lot better being with SM Entertainment.
Well,
I think
to you, Emily Leblonsky.
Welcome to season 2, Em. Yeah, so we actually do have producers in my garage, sitting behind a glass.
Yeah, we have to chuck the glass there because they do spit at us.
Yeah. And they do get really angry and start yelling through my earpiece. So, especially producer Jono.
Now, producer Jono will be making an appearance on the show as well, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the feeling is with the board. With producer Jono.
Now,
if you haven't tuned into the we do have an episode on the board.
We're at the board, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was episode 7. No, it was 10. It was episode 10.
We'll pop it up.
It was it was episode 10.
We'll pop it up what it was.
Yeah, because we had the birthday cake.
Yeah. It was our birthday when our 2 celebrities, literal Australian celebrities, were going to come onto our podcast, and COVID bloody hit. COVID. Speaking of,
the borders are back open now.
Borders are open to us here in South Australia.
The borders are back open, and you have a look at all these exposure sites, and it's like one COVID positive person, and they've gone to like 6 supermarkets, like 6 shopping centres. One West Lakes, then they go to Arndale, bloody at Gawler, and like there's only one explanation for it. Audi special buys.
Oh,
The bloke just wanted a 40-inch 4K TV.
yeah.
And
That's
hope
selling
he-
out, aren't they?
I hope he got one. No, I went early on Wednesday morning to go have a look at something that they were selling there.
But that was early. So.
Early, and like they were sold out. I went there today. There's like 6 still at the Findon one.
So
if you guys are listening, you want a 60.
if you live in Adelaide and
if you live in
Findon-
Adelaide, or even if you live in Melbourne, you can come over now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, you can. Just have to have a test 72 hours before, and you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah, you need to do the. Well, you see now, if you want to go into Queensland, you need to have 190.
You need to make sure you've caught a vibe.
Yeah,
as
you
many
need to
people would say on TikTok.
Get the virus.
Caught a vibe. You
What's
know that
that?
trend?
Normally, when I see that, it doesn't happen on TikTok. It's at a
Normally, it
bus
just gives me throwbacks to Essendon.
stop. Essendon got the vaccine in bloody 2013.
They had extra stuff in their vaccine, though.
Their vaccine.
They're immune to every disease.
They made their own vaccine. It wasn't for COVID though.
No, it wasn't for
No.
COVID.
But they wouldn't. They would obviously have had their COVID jabs.
It was to losing football games that year. They were immune to it.
Who was it? James Hurd.
Yeah, James Hurd
Yeah, James Hurd.
and the doctor. And good old Watson. Was it Watson, the captain?
I don't know, but like whoever played in
He
that
lost
team,
his Brownlow or something, I think. didn't he?
whoever played in that team, they weren't allowed to play for like the year after, or the year after it'd been.
I think it was 3 years.
Yeah, it was like
And James Hurd was like 10 years or like 20 years or
as
something.
if he's gonna ever coach again though.
I know he coaches local league.
Like the depressing thing is, what did they even win that year?
Yeah, they won. They grand final.
Did they?
Yeah.
No, I get fine.
That's why it was such a big saga.
Did they
And
act-
someone won the Brownlow. It was a joint Brownlow medalist.
No, you're
winner.
joking that they actually won. You're telling me Essendon won?
Yeah. That's why it's so big.
Oh shit!
Otherwise, it would be known as the biggest fucking fail in
I was gonna
AFL
say,
history.
I thought they lost, so I was like, "How depressing is that? They've taken all these drugs and they don't even win." But obviously they
Yeah.
won. Shows how
No,
much.
they
It
definitely
was
won.
20. It was like 2013, before my time.
Was it?
Before I formed a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were still in the womb, as many would say.
There's no H in it.
Yeah.
There's a B. WOMB.
Womb. I thought it was a WHOMB.
I don't understand why there are silent B's. You know, like I used to go to Hungry
No,
Jack's.
it's womb.
Yeah, but I used to go to Hungry Jack's and I'd have like a sign on the slide that says "Do not climb." The fuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't climb it first of all,
Hmm.
but yeah,
No, I always used to climb them when I went to Macca's and stuff.
yeah.
Used to be a good chasing game.
I actually saw someone bought a Macca's playground off of eBay for
Really?
like $5,000 and have it in their backyard. I'll find a photo of it and I'll try.
Has it got the helicopter thing? You know how you used to
Oh
get to
my
the top
God.
and you used to spin the thing? The helicopter thing at the top?
it might actually. I don't know. They'll see the photo now.
Well, there was like a plane, like there was a bunch of different ones. But now they're a disgrace to Australia
now they're
and
like
the world.
back in the day. They used to be like a happy, happy young
Yeah.
person.
Have
Now
a
they're-
nice little Happy Meal that's cheap. Now it's like you're paying $20 for a Happy Meal.
Yeah, but even like when you went there, they used to be all red, all happy. Now
Yeah.
they're like a depressed teenager.
And they're like, hey, welcome. What do you want? We're going to make it wrong anyway. Doesn't matter.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about the new style of Macca's.
Yeah.
But I'm not. As I've said before, I'm not a Macca's fan.
And as I've said before, they're a disgrace.
They're actually a disgrace to the fast food industry,
Yeah.
and I hope that they go broke.
Hmm.
Yes.
They've kept you going these years, Daniel, as
No, I don't.
many people could see.
I don't go to Macca's. Not if it's the only option, I'll go.
Oh, interesting, because I remember us going a few weeks ago. So,
You know what? We'll give them the Macca's Monopoly. I have a thing sitting in
yeah.
my car, free
Nah,
quarter
good call.
pounder that I've never used.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. But now, Hungry Jacks have jumped on and done things.
Oh,
And
and
you
then
can win
you
stuff.
got
Subway's
yeah,
done
Sink a
stuff.
Sub. Do you know that? Sorry, do you want to keep going, or do you want me to say mine?
Yeah, go.
So, do you know what the sub stands for in Subway? You know what it means?
Probably the sub,
Yeah, but do you know what?
as in eating the sub.
Yeah, but do you know why it's called a sub? Because they're called
Submarine.
They're called submarine sandwiches.
Ah,
I didn't know that. And their
because
first
they look like a submarine, I guess.
yeah, and like their first store was called like Tony's Submarine Sandwiches or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to.
Is
sorry,
it still around, the OG? Surely.
Oh, probably somewhere.
If it's not around, then it's a
That's like, is
disgrace.
the OG Mac? Is OG Macca's still around?
I remember the new owner of the OG Macca's, the new owner that took over from the old owner, real asshole move. After a few years of becoming really big, opened a Macca's directly across the road from the original place and got them out of business. The other business went into liquidation. The two brothers that originally started it.
Yeah. Criminal.
It is criminal.
Smart man.
I wish he got hung.
He's a businessman.
Yeah.
Gotta give him that.
Businessman, but just because you're a businessman doesn't mean that your values and your morals get affected.
Money's there to be made, though.
Yeah, everyone has a price, Daniel.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your price is food.
That was so bad.
I was gonna say a Whopper.
Yeah, I'll go a Whopper. I don't know. I swear the Whoppers are getting smaller and smaller.
I feel like they are too. Actually,
They definitely are.
Yeah,
Like
they used to
fucking as
pile
well.
stuff on.
Oh, they're getting tiny.
Now
It's like I pick it up and I'm like, this is depressing.
Yeah, and now I ask for no pickles, and they'll just put one pickle on there. You meant to put two on there, They're half-assing it.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Hungry Jacks, if you're listening, step your game up, honestly.
Hungry Jacks?
Hungry Jacks have the Whopper.
Oh.
You were thinking...
I was talking about Macca's, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
why.
Big Macs are getting smaller as well.
Sorry.
You should rename it to a small Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Big Mac.
Definitely not.
And to other news, Daniel.
Yeah, well, as I said, our big sponsorship with High Street Cafe, $200. Now, we're not at the board table, I know we're not, but I reckon we invested $200 into crypto.
Nah, it's too volatile, Daniel.
Too volatile. Have you seen the price of mangoes? That's fucking 10 times more volatile than crypto.
Yeah,
I swear, mangoes are fucked. Like, they are so volatile.
Yeah, they are.
Like, one day they're $1.90, next day it's like fucking $4. I don't understand it. People say they follow the crypto charts. I follow the mango charts. I'll be like, $1.90, Dad, buy a couple mangoes. They're going to be $3 tomorrow. Next day, 2 for $6. I'm too good,
Yeah.
It's like Fibonacci.
I wish you could buy shares in mangoes.
Yeah, buy shares in the mango companies, man.
Yeah.
They would be making a killing, though, guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who the hell is paying like $4 for a mango? Like,
Yeah.
half of it is like seed anyway,
So big thanks coming this season. High Street Cafe rolling on their sponsorship. Millie's Mini Meals, a part of SM Entertainment, which is the new entity which we come under.
Which isn't actually registered, so please no one steal it.
It is an entity.
It's actually a corporation.
We'll just say we're an
Can we be a corporation?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
difference.
We're all of the above. So we also have a separate Millie's Meals, which is a longer version, which will also hit your screens as a part of SM Entertainment, which you are watching is what Facebook page or
Instagram
or YouTube page, which you are watching right now, is a part of SM Entertainment. You also see Daniel's Daily Dose hitting your screens,
coming soon,
a part of the podcast, and also separately a part as its own show. And you'll also see the High Street Cafe games hitting your screens as a one-time special edition, hitting your screens in the next couple months.
Well, probably next couple of weeks, to be honest.
Next few weeks, actually, true.
I can promise that because I'm editing. So.
Yeah. So that's being recorded next week, actually, Daniel.
Yeah, we've hired out a studio for that.
So we'll go live.
We're actually flying everyone down to the Warner Brothers studio in Gold Coast, and we're filming it out there. So,
do we have any other new segments hitting the screens, Daniel? I don't think so.
In the near future?
We've also got SM Media and SM Affairs also hitting your screens over this season, which is just out and about with Kylan Leblonsky,
and obviously
one of our reporters on the ground and in the field.
And that's probably going to entail maybe some street talks and stuff, which, what's coming up? The BBL.
Yeah.
That's going to be Street Talks BBL. We have to.
Yeah, and I completely with you. And SM Media and Kylan Leblonsky, we'll bring that straight to you. But speaking on new segments, we're going to head to Millie's Mini Meals right now, and we'll see you after the break.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Millie's Mini Meals. Another episode here part of the Spaghetti and Meatball Show little segment here. Now today, what we're cooking is some French toast, but you know me, I'm Mily and I like to put a twist on things. Today we're going to be putting an Aussie spin on French toast, and we're going to be cooking some toast with some butter, and of course just some honey, and not labelled for copyright reasons. Okay, so let's get it underway. What we'll need today is some bread from your local Drakes. Now, as you can see, that's the reduced kind because we're on a low budget here at Mily's Meals, and I like to think a bit of mould on the bread is just a bit of penicillin. So, anyway, then you're going to need some butter. I like the buttery butter. It's just more buttery. And then, of course, some honey. Not branded, of course, as I said before. Now, moving on to the bread, to start off now, we'll get it out. Now, the crust here, or as I like to refer to it as bun because it tastes like absolute asshole. So we do that to that, and we get out 2 good bits of bread. 1, 2. Now, a lot of people have a misconception about toasters. Now, what I like to do is I get my butter and I spread it first. A lot of people like to put it in there and toast it first. Not sure why they try and do that. But yes. So you really got to move the butter around, get it nice and creamy. Bit of a whisk, I like to call it. Now get a big chunk and let's butter. I'll move that out the way so you can see there at home. If you just come up here and have a quick look. Thank you. Cameraman. So we'll butter that. I really like to lather the butter on as well. It tastes a lot better when it's lathered. Now, if you're having Vegemite or something like that, it's something a bit more Australian, spread that on too first. I don't like to do it with honey because it gets a bit runny, and I've gone through a few toasters in my time trying to do that with honey. Bit silly. Now, I also like to put it on both sides. So let's flick that over. Flick that over, and let's get some more butter and lather it on this side. Now, as you can see, both sides have been buttered like that. Oh, that's coming off a little bit there, isn't it? Now, let's go and chuck it in the toaster. Okay, now just before we get started, do not ever put a knife in there or a spoon. If it's metal, don't do it, as I like to say. Now also don't do this in the bath, and well, as my son Draven would know, yeah, you'll find out about him one day. Okay, so now I like to put it on level number 3, okay? And while that goes, and see behind me here it says I love the power. Now, a lot of people might think that's about the port power. It's not the AFL team. It's not about them. It's actually about girls' power. I'm a really strong advocate for girls' power. And Mily's Meals is all about women's power. A lot of people have said, Emily Leblonsky, you shouldn't do this show because, women don't have to be in the kitchen. But I love being in the kitchen. I love bringing this content to you. That's what I think I've been put on earth for, and that's what I think God has created me to do, is be in the kitchen. Other women have other ideas, but I love the kitchen. Anyway, now I have a really good sense of time, and I can, because I've been cooking for so long, I can just tell when things are going to pop. And I would say in about 5 seconds, this thing's going to pop. That's what I say, 2, 1. Oh, there it goes. And I'm right. Now, another misconception that people have about toasters is that, you put it in, it pops. You're done. You're not done. That's silly. You got to put it back in, but you got to turn it around the other way. It really needs to be cooked evenly on both sides. So let's turn them around the other way, and we'll pop it back down there on level number 3 again. And when it's done, bellissimo. Now, once again, I have a good sense of time, and it's just about ready, I would say. Nearly ready anyway, I reckon. Oh, there it is, just on time, as I was saying. Now, let's pop it out. Whoa! Look how golden and beautiful that is. misconception is, no, I've already put butter in there, you don't do it again. Oh, you're wrong. Let's put some more on there, let's lather it on. Now, both sides buttered again after it comes out of the toaster. Look how golden that is. That is golden. Almost as golden as my wedding ring that my ex gave me. Now, moving on, let's grab the honey. Let's pop it out. Oh, all Australian honey too, as we like to pride on Australian honey. Ooh, jeez, it's pretty sticky. It's probably getting pretty out of date then, as you're thinking. Now it's pretty crystally as well if we have a look at that. Now that's telling you that this honey is it's getting pretty old. It's getting pretty old. Now, let's what I like to do is I like to grab a big clump and I just like to sit it there over the toast and whoop, and whoop, whoop. Wow, it really just falls off nice and slowly, doesn't it? It's actually turning me on a little bit. Okay, now let's put honey on the other side. Let's get a big load there. Don't know what the bees were doing when they made this honey. They didn't do it quite right, I don't think. Now let's let it fall off. That is out of date. A bit more. It's not quite coming off, it's quite sticky. Okay. Let's put that in. Now, another misconception about toast is that a lot of misconceptions, really, when it comes to toast, isn't it? It's the simplest meal and it's the most misconceptions. Yeah, it's funny that. Yeah, they say, eat one piece at a time. I mean, it is a bit of a personal decision, but what Emily Leblonsky likes to do is she likes to make it into a bit of a sandwich. So I like to pop it over into there, and I like to go... That is good. Thank you for tuning in to Mily's Mini Meals, and I'll see you next week.
Hello and welcome back.
Welcome back, and thank you very much, Emily Leblonsky.
Yeah, I know she's laughing now. We were just watching it, and it's very funny. It's very funny because obviously this is a live, so we actually do see what you guys are seeing.
And the live reaction from our producer Emily, who also runs a show.
She's actually crying right now. She's giving us the finger. That's nice of you, Emily. So
thanks, Emily. Season 2.
That's gonna just be our thing now, isn't it? Season 2.
We're so happy to have a season 2 and another major sponsor going back to back.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So happy about that.
I'm ecstatic if you can't tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic that mangoes were only 99 cents yesterday.
Where'd you get them from? Well, this show's actually sponsored to you by the Mango Shares.
It's not.
No,
it's High Street Cafe.
No, I wanted to bring up a quick point that I was driving in town the other day across from the police barracks there. They've got
at Largs.
No. In town, is it the police barracks?
I don't think
it's not
headquarters.
Barracks. It's just like a headquarters.
Police headquarters.
No, but
on
it's
Wakefield.
Like, no, it's just outside of town, like Beneath in there, where they've got like their cars and stuff. It's sort of like a depot. It's a police depot. It's not a station.
Okay.
Where they keep their horses and stuff.
Okay.
Now, on the other side of the road, there was like horse shit all over the floor.
Yeah.
That is disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm not anti-police or anything. The police.
How do you know they didn't go back after you drove past and cleaned it up? How
do
you know
that? There was like
that?
flies flying all over it. Now, I'm sorry.
If you're a fly, sitting on a tree and you're like, oh.
I'm not, because I knew that you would get. I knew that you would get like. I knew that you would get fucking triggered over this.
No, I agree. They should clean it up.
This is what I'm concerned about, or what pisses me off. All right, let's let these police animals walk around and let them drop shit. But God forbid, I take my dog to the park and he lets one loose, and there's a bit of brown stuff that comes out of his ass, and I don't pick it up. $700 fine. Where's the accountability here? I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
That what's the rule of law is that everyone's equal under law. It doesn't matter if it's a dog, doesn't matter if it's a horse.
Yeah.
If you're shitting on the floor.
Well, it does say pick up your dog's poo. It doesn't say pick up your horse's poo.
Who the is bringing a horse to a park?
Exactly. Just the police.
The police, honestly.
But it's a lot of shit to pick up. The police can't, like, I'm with you too.
Yeah.
Like, they should, like, there should be, I don't know, but how are they going to do it? They're not going to have garbage bags where they shit and they're like, oh, hold on, and get their little shovel and shovel it into, like, their shits are massive horses, man.
And it's not like they can say, oh, no, it's not ours. Because who else walks around town with a horse?
Oh, no, they wouldn't say that, though.
Like, they probably could have got away with it back in the day when people used to have horse-driven carriages and stuff.
It would get picked up, though, because I didn't see it the other day, so...
Yeah, but
the council would just come and pick it up.
It wasn't on the road. It was on like a footpath, a bike path.
Yeah.
Which was dangerous because it was like right over a hill. It was right over the hill there, going over the train tracks. You know?
Yeah,
Someone's
sure.
riding their bike, next minute, and it's shit.
Yeah. Depends how quick you're going. If you're going too fast, you're breaking the law anyway, so...
Is there a limit
Yeah.
for how fast you can go?
Yeah.
What is it?
35.
Without signs?
No, I don't know.
It's like, 50 without signs. There's no signs.
Actually,
it's
don't know.
50. You know what? Oh, you go.
No, you go. I forgot.
I was just going to say, you know, when a lot of the back streets now in our area are 40, they've changed it all to 40.
And
And
in Charles Sturt Council.
Yeah, just in the Charles Sturt area. And I'm sure other councils have changed it as well.
Yeah.
But you have council workers doing council work on the roads, and they'll put end of roadworks 50.
Yeah, how dumb can
How
you be?
dumb can you
Nah,
be?
but
You
then
literally
again-
work for the council as well.
No. But then people don't work for the council.
No, every time
'cause-
I've seen a 50 sign put out, it's from a council worker.
But how do you know that?
Because they have the
because
literal Charles Sturt there. I see it down there.
No,
near-
but the traffic control people are contractors. They're not a part of the council.
they have Charles Sturt vans and
and they
shit.
don't have 40 signs.
You're telling me they don't have
No,
40
just take the
signs?
piss. They would definitely have 40 signs, but they're actually contractors.
I don't give a what they are. They should know what the speed limit is.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
But
even-
let's be honest. They're getting paid like $70 an hour. Like,
get it right at least. Come on, $70 an hour. That's not an excuse. Get it right.
yeah.
It's not that hard. Like, honestly,
I don't think you had to yell into the mic.
I can see the people that are doing it. It's definitely not that hard.
Yeah.
You know, the people there look like they're full cooked.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the show and you go onto those rides, you know?
Yeah.
And people always like to me, Daniel, why don't you go on these rides? And I'm like, look at the people that are running them. They can't even take care of their teeth. and I'm going to trust them with my life.
You break the weight limit for the rides. They don't let
That's
you
also,
on the rides.
That's also why I don't go on there. I love the announcers at the on those rides. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Keep your hands in the ride at all times. And then 3 seconds later, put your hands up if you want to go faster.
Yeah. Scream if you want to go faster.
Have you seen the euthanasia coaster?
Yeah.
The roller coaster.
The one that they wanted,
I'll chuck
yeah.
a photo up now. It's like got like 19 spins or something.
Yeah.
They should get those people commentating, like doing the voicing for that ride. It's like some old person on there, like, scream if you want to go faster.
And the old person's just...
Obviously dead because it's a euthanasia coaster.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've actually tested it.
Oh, it's not a real... They never made it, so...
Yeah, it was like engineered. Well, how do you know if you're going to die then? You know, that's a
Oh,
question.
I think the G-forces, you know.
Yeah,
And
well,
if
the
you're
G-force-
90 years old and you're hitting 10 Gs, I'm pretty sure your body's not going to be able to handle it. It'll just be like, nah, fuck
You
it.
never know. They could be vaccinated.
Only Essendon vaccinations.
Essendon vaccinations solve that problem.
Yeah. As long as Asada isn't around, everything's okay.
Get the Russians onto their vaccine probably will save you.
I'd say theirs is better than Essendon's.
I love when people ask me, "Oh, what vaccine did you get?" You know, don't you hate that? So I'm vaccinated, and people always like to me, "Oh, what vaccine?" Well, I always tell them I get the Sputnik, the Russian vaccine. You know why it's called the Sputnik?
Because of the...
A little history lesson here for the viewers.
Yeah, because of...
They had the first ever satellite they
the
launched into
race, space race.
The first satellite was called the Sputnik. The vaccine's called Sputnik 2
Yeah.
because they bet that was the only time they bet the Americans.
It's like the
So,
Cold War.
We're going to beat them again with this vaccine. Let's give it to everyone.
I'm sure that they bet them in other areas that haven't been publicised.
Oh yeah, like giving drugs to people, and they won in the Moscow Olympics. I believe they got 204 medals. 204 medals.
Doping, though.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. They had it at Moscow.
Was Vladimir Putin still president back then?
No, that would have been.
Because he's been
But that
reigning
was- that
for
would-
about 40 years, hasn't he?
That would have been before Gorbachev.
Oh, that was Stalin.
Would have been. Oh, I don't know if it was Stalin.
Stalin.
Stalin was like early.
That was when that was like SARS back when they had SARS.
No, Stalin was a leader. Stalin was. Leader
Oh no,
in World War
Stalin
Two.
was the World War II. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but then you had like because the US and like 60 other countries boycotted the 1986.
Where was it?
Was it 1986?
It was in Saudi Arabia.
No, they boycotted the Olympics in Moscow because of what they were doing to Afghanistan. And the US is like, let's train Afghanistan. Let's train them. Let's give them everything. Look at Afghanistan now. That's all trained by the US back in like the 80s.
Thanks for the history lesson that no one needed, Daniel.
Yeah, no, you guys are all welcome. So yeah, I actually wrote my my history on this, so I just remember a lot of stuff. Yeah, but it is interesting, you know, when you look at history, and then you look at where we are now, and you go, "What the fuck went wrong?"
Yeah.
What can you do though? You know.
No, I'm happy with where I'm at.
No, I think the world's in a great place. You know.
Well, here it's in a good place.
Won't be in a couple of days. I hope we
maybe.
don't go into lockdown.
No, we won't.
I hope we don't.
They said we're not.
Yeah, but they've also said a lot of other things, and then you know. So hopefully.
And
we don't.
you also said that you were fit at one point, but look at you now.
I was when I came out of the womb, of course.
Yeah, and the closet. You came out of the closet last season, remember? That was only in season 1 though, not season 2.
Yeah, I actually came out of the wardrobe. They just pulled me out of the drawer. When I was younger,
You wouldn't have fit in a drawer. It would have been a fucking big drawer, man.
when I was younger, I remember I got pissed off once at my parents, and I went into my room and I had like a tall boy. You know, a tall boy, like where you put your clothes in. And it's got like all different drawers.
Okay.
And it's like it was taller than me. It's probably the size of Carlux now, but we didn't have.
Welcome back to Colour.
Yeah, welcome back to Carlux. But I remember we hadn't actually screwed it to the wall.
Yeah.
And I got pissed off. So what I did was I was standing right in front of it and I opened up every drawer and this fucking thing just fell on me. I was like 6. I was like, what the fuck? Never did it again.
Yeah.
So kids, if you're listening, don't do that unless it's mounted onto the wall.
How would have you known though?
That it was mounted onto the wall.
Yeah, whether it was mounted or not, you wouldn't. You were a kid.
Well, I knew after it fell on me that it wasn't mounted on the wall.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah. That's actually a big issue. Like kids climbing on tall boys and stuff.
Yeah, kids like to climb though.
Well, I didn't like to climb.
Okay. Cool.
That's why they have to
Wow.
put signs up at like Maccas and stuff. Don't climb.
Yeah.
I reckon a Porto should bring out a playground.
Yeah, potentially.
Even KFC, like, let us play with the bucket. They should do, you know when you go to like water
The
parks.
bucket's hollow.
Well, you know when you go to water parks and they have like those big buckets in the kids zones? They should do that at the front of every KFC. So they just really
Just
get
in
up.
the summertime.
But no, they should do it with like their gravy that no one buys. So just fucking,
Some people love the gravy.
the
man.
gravy is disgusting.
Oh, it's rank how they make it.
I
too.
feel bad for homeless people because those people would eat the most gravy.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. It's actually.
I mean, it's actually probably better to eat some police horse shit than eat that gravy. It's probably better for you.
So if you are looking for some police horse shit,
Head down to Benithan.
Benithan, yeah, you'll find some there.
And if you're around that area as well, you can probably head into Kensington, where High Street Cafe is, and it's good friends, good coffee down there, Daniel. And
It's coffee made easy.
it is coffee made easy. You know, good atmosphere. They've just brought out their brand new kids menu, which we'll chuck up on the screen now. They've got some fairy bread in there, some baby chinos, some toasted sandwiches, perfectly portioned for kids tucker, and while also playing amongst the toys out on the lawn.
Yes. So if you do want some kid food, come down to High Street Cafe. And are adults allowed to have the kid food as well, the kid portion?
No comment. I'm not sure.
We're not sure. We probably won't get back to you about that. Maybe we will. We'll ask. We'll ask the owner.
Yeah, we can ask Mick. I think there's. I'm not sure. I think it's going to the High Court.
That's like I don't know if you've seen that episode. I don't know if you've watched it. It's called Afterlife by Ricky Gervais, and he goes out for dinner with his nephew, and he's like, what do you want? He's like, I want fish sticks. And
Yeah, I've
he's
seen
like,
it.
I'll get fish sticks as well. And she's like, no, you can't. You're not a kid.
And then he's like, I'll get 2 serves of fish sticks for him because he's really hungry, and I won't get anything.
I'll just get a coffee. And then he comes and he's like, the chick's staring at him, and he's just fucking eating the fish sticks. He's the funniest. I love him.
Yeah, well, we're not funny, so we're definitely not the funniest.
Though we do help assist right in a lot of these new shows that are coming out with Milly's Meals. You would have seen that. That's all.
SM Entertainment. Actually, this isn't a part of SM Entertainment. It's become a Spaghetti and Meatball. End of next year. As you know, Daniel's a magician. And I'm really a nothing. But end of next year, we're doing a show, aren't we, Daniel?
We're going to be doing a live stage show with our written comedy. So stand up, everything.
Well, I don't really write much comedy. Daniel writes his comedy, and I just
I
kind of
write
chill.
some comedy. It's average, but we'll see how it goes.
That's what happens when you're starting.
You've got to start off somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to be doing some magic tricks that we are in the midst of writing.
That's how Carl Barron started.
Carl Barron. Yes.
He started like us.
Well,
not with a podcast. But
we're not. Well, I like to think of ourselves. We're not stand-up comedians. We're sit-down comedians because we're sitting. Well,
yeah. You can't physically stand up.
I would stand up right now, but I've actually got a really sore lower back.
I wonder why.
You know why I do have?
I feel nearly just vomited.
Oh, speaking of nearly vomiting. So we are still playing.
It's actually probably about time though. So
we are still playing squash. Squash hasn't stopped in the grind. We've probably had close to 20 sessions of squash. And the other week, I won a point against Kylan, and he arced up to me and punched me in the Adam's apple, in my Adam's apple, and I just went, "No, I'm gonna vomit." So I just left.
I
and went to the toilet.
Punch.
Oh yes, you did.
Was it a clenched fist? Was it? Was it a clenched fist?
I can't remember. I blacked out. I blacked out. There's no cameras there. I blacked out.
Yeah, it's a classic. Out. Yeah.
So yeah, we could take it to the tribunal if you want. But yeah, he full nearly decapitated me, and then I vomited in the toilet.
You know that is such an over-exaggeration.
No, you're actually disgusting.
Some people might think I over-exaggerate Daniel's body weight, but I'm not. But he over-exaggerated that story, I can tell you that.
I thought I was going to die. Yeah. I saw the light, and then I just realised it was the actual light.
It actually hurt me more because he has so much neck fat. When I pushed him, it actually bounced like this. Oh, was it a clenched fist now, was it? Oh, let's say it was a clenched fist then. When I punched him in the neck, because there's so much neck fat, it actually rebounded and I actually punched myself in the face and I snapped my nose and lost 3 teeth. So these are fake and I had to go to hospital. Daniel felt a little bit sick, that's it, but I had to go to hospital. Yeah. So. How's that for over-exexaggerating?
I did actually go to hospital.
Yeah. Well, I actually had a delayed concussion, so... I was bleeding on the brain.
Okay, too far.
Sorry. Anyway, that draws the end to...
I just want to bring up one more thing because I just sort of on the spot. I don't get why they call it hospital ramping. Like, why is it called hospital ramping?
I don't know, because they're sitting on the ramps.
I thought that this would be really funny to make a joke about.
So not funny anymore. I was
going to be like, what if they just got a ram there and just fucking flew all the ambulances off? That was bad.
And this is why Daniel's comedy's all scripted, ladies and gentlemen. Because if he tries to come up with something on the spot, he becomes a retard. Okay. Well, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. This is episode 1 of season number 2. And we'll see you next week for season number 2. Episode number 2.
So when you do see your friends, tell them, get on to season number 2.
Episode number 2.
Episode number 2.
Yeah, no, that's 4.
No, season
That'll
2,
be coming.
Episode number 2.
2 episodes after season 2 will be season number 4. So get around it.
And it's coming to a screen. Fuck.
Once again, on the spot comedy.
It's coming to
and he becomes a retard. Okay, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kylan Beach. Thank you for tuning into the Spaghetti and Meatball Show, proudly brought to you by High Street Cafe and SM Entertainment. We'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.